Welcome to this deep dive. We're getting into a book that's really made some waves. Ezra Klein's Abundance. It opens with this incredibly potent line. We have a startling abundance of the goods that fill a house and a shortage of what's needed to build a good life. And right there, you kind of get why it's resonated so much. Our goal today is to unpack the viral bits, the quotes, the ideas, the questions from Abundance that have probably seen pop up in policy chats online, everywhere. And just so you know, you're experiencing a unique two-host AI conversation powered by Google's Notebook LM for deeper, more dynamic book summaries like this one.
Yeah, it's a good way to dig in, especially since the book's core is this really profound paradox. Klein points out what he calls an uncanny economy.
Yeah.
He puts it like this. A secure middle-class lifestyle receded for many, but the material trappings of middle-class success became affordable to most. Uncanny. It captures that feeling, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Things don't quite add up. We have more stuff.
But less security? Yeah, that definitely hits home. And Klein really tries to figure out why. He looks hard at politics. There's this quote that just, wow, it really struck a chord. Liberals speak as if they believe in government and then pass policy after policy, hamstringing what it can actually do. Quote, conservatives talk as if they want a small state, but support a national security and surveillance apparatus of terrifying scope and power. And then, both sides are attached to a rhetoric of government that is routinely betrayed by their actions. It feels like more than just saying they're hypocrites.
Absolutely. He's digging deeper. He's suggesting this gap between words and actions is a real barrier. It stops us from tackling the very scarcities the book talks about. It's less about ideology, more about, results.
Yeah.
That leads to his point that the size of government isn't the main issue. He says, whether government is bigger or smaller is the wrong question. What it needs to be is better.
Okay.
It needs to justify itself, not through the rules it follows, but through the outcomes it delivers. That really shifts the whole debate, from dogma to pragmatism.
Right. Focusing on what actually works. And leadership is key there, too. He notes, crisis is a focusing mechanism, but leaders define what counts as a crisis, and leaders are the ones who choose to focus. So it really puts the responsibility on them to, lead, identify the real problems, and tackle them. But it's not all critique. The book poses these really searching questions like, what is scarce that should be abundant? What is difficult to build that should be easy? What inventions do we need that we do not yet have? Makes you think, doesn't it? If you just took one of those questions and applied it to something you see, it changes how you look at it. More creative, less reactive.
Exactly. They're designed to unlock new ways of thinking, get us focused on where we should be putting our energy. And speaking of energy, one statement that really took off is, energy abundance might be the single most important technological bottleneck of our time.
Sure.
You hear echoes of that everywhere now. Climate talks, tech circles, economic discussions. It's become a sort of rallying cry.
That idea of a bottleneck really captures the kind of thinking Klein promotes, finding those key leverage points. It's this kind of insightful, rational analysis we explore further on Mindful Moments. That's our YouTube channel with more AI-powered book analysis. Definitely check it out. Now, the book also gets very specific, raising questions that have directly fueled policy debates, like the big one. Can we solve our problems with supply?
That's fundamental. And it spins off into things affecting everyone, like housing. If there are not enough homes, can we make more? If not, why not? That's a direct challenge to how we approach housing policy.
Yeah, or energy.
Right. If there's not enough clean energy, can we make more? If not, why not? Pushing climate and energy policy forward. And then there's government effectiveness. If government repeatedly fails to complete major projects on time and on budget, what is going wrong and how do we fix it? That's about making government actually work.
When you lay it all out, you can see why Abundance went viral. It frames things provocatively. Abundance is the goal. It's got these really quotable lines, easy to share, sparks conversation.
And it asks questions people are already asking, just maybe not as sharply. It taps into common frustrations.
Plus, it works on different levels. Policy wonks can chew on it, but so can anyone just trying to understand what's going on. That broad appeal is key.
Definitely. Abundance really gets people talking because it challenges assumptions about politics, government, what progress even means. Those sharp questions force you to reflect, to debate. You see its ideas and quotes referenced constantly.
So it's not just a critique, it's like a reframing tool. It argues that maybe scarcity isn't inevitable, maybe it's a failure of imagination or policy design, which leads to a final thought for you to consider. Thinking about all this, what scarcity are you facing maybe personally or in your community or just something you see in the world that maybe with a different perspective could actually be an abundance waiting for us to unlock it? You can explore more ideas like this through Mindful Moments and our podcasts. Click the link on screen for the in-depth book analysis. Subscribe, share, maybe purchase via the link, and above all, remember to think rationally.